I watched her laugh with someone else. Not just a smile, not just a polite chuckle. It was that deep, head thrown back kind of laugh. The kind she used to save just for me. They were sitting on a bench outside our old favorite coffee shop. The irony stung. I was across the street, hidden just enough by the crowd and the rain starting to drizzle. And for a second, I forgot how to breathe. Because I thought I was over it. I thought time had buried that ache. But there it was again, raw, fresh, like a reopened wound. I didn't recognize the guy. Tall, confident. He said something, and she laughed again. Tucked her hair behind her ear the way she always did when she was nervous. I knew that move. I knew all her moves. At least, I used to. And that's what hit me the hardest. That someone else was learning the rhythm of her laugh, the way her voice lifts when she's excited, how she takes her coffee with one sugar and just a little guilt. I looked away, tried to walk, but my feet felt like concrete. Memories slammed into me like waves. I remembered our first date, how she made fun of my playlist, how we stayed out until 2 a.m. just talking on a bench nearby. I remembered how she used to hum when she did the dishes, how she danced in the kitchen with bare feet and morning breath like it was a ballroom. I remembered how she cried the night her dog died, and how she clung to me like I was the only thing holding her together. We weren't perfect. God, no. We fought over stupid things. About how I never folded the laundry. About how she left the lights on in every room. But when it was good, it felt like home. Until it didn't. It started unraveling slowly, like a thread pulling loose in a sweater. Barely noticeable at first, until suddenly, everything fell apart. She said she felt unheard, said I was distant, and maybe I was. Maybe I got too comfortable, thought she'd always be there. Then one night, she just said it. I don't think we're growing in the same direction. That sentence cut deeper than I ever admitted. We promised to stay friends, but silence grew where love used to live. And slowly, we became strangers again. So standing there in the rain, watching her light up beside someone new, I convinced myself that it was okay. She looked happy. And isn't that what you're supposed to want for someone you once loved? I turned to leave, and that's when it happened. She looked up, right through the crowd, right through the noise, and our eyes met. Her smile faltered, just for a second, like she'd seen a ghost. Me, the guy who once made her laugh like that. The guy who held her through panic attacks. The guy who almost proposed but couldn't find the right moment. And in that 1 second, the city disappeared. It was just us. Two people in the aftermath of love, standing in the middle of a storm we didn't expect. I should have kept walking. I should have let the past stay buried. But my feet turned before I could stop them. She stood up, said something quickly to the guy. He looked confused. Then she started walking. Toward me. The rain got heavier. People opened umbrellas. She didn't. She walked straight through it. Hair soaked. Makeup smudged. But she didn't care. Neither did I. We stopped in the middle of the sidewalk. And for a moment, it felt like the world held its breath. Hi, she said. Simple. Soft. Like she wasn't shattering every wall I'd built. Hey, I replied, voice barely above a whisper. She looked down, then back at me. I didn't know you were in the city. I wasn't. Just visiting a friend. I lied. She nodded. Awkward silence filled the space between us. Then she asked, How have you been? And my brain screamed 1,000 answers. But my mouth just said, Okay. You? She hesitated. Better. Now. And that sentence hung there, soaked in rain, regret, and something like hope. I saw you laughing, I said. I saw you looking, she whispered. A pause. Then she stepped closer. I think about you, she said. Sometimes a lot. Sometimes when I'm with someone else, and it feels wrong. Her voice broke. I didn't know how to reach out. You didn't, I said. Not once. I know, she nodded, eyes glistening. But I never stopped hoping I'd run into you, somewhere, somehow. I looked away. Not because I didn't believe her, but because I wanted to. And that scared me. Are you happy? I asked. She shrugged. I'm trying, but he doesn't know me the way you did. I wanted to tell her how long it took me to stop checking my phone. How her name still made my stomach twist. How her voice was the soundtrack to every empty room I sat in after she left. But I didn't. Instead, I asked, why now? She smiled sadly. Because I saw you, and suddenly I couldn't remember why I ever let you go. The rain was pouring now, but neither of us moved. You're still my favorite what if, she whispered. And that's when I knew. This wasn't a reunion. It was a moment. A flicker in time. Maybe we'd talk again. Maybe we wouldn't. But in that rain-drenched instant, I realized something. Some people don't need a second chance. Just one honest moment. To remind you that love, real love, never truly disappears. It just hides. And sometimes, it finds you again. In the middle of the city. In the middle of the rain. When you least expect it. To anyone listening. If you've ever let someone go, or watched them walk away, just know this. Closure doesn't always come with answers. Sometimes it comes with a look, a pause, and the echo of laughter that once belonged to you. And if they ever look for you in the rain, don't be afraid to stop, even if it's just to remember.